thing about sports is you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning, good morning. Right back like we never left, another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. What's up, y'all? Good morning.
Rise and shine.
What's popping?
Man, a lot is popping, I guess, in Kansas City this weekend.
Plenty.
Yeah.
If you're a Drake fan, he's in town.
J. Cole fan?
Or J. Cole
J.
fan.
Cole fan, he's in town.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all bigger
pop out.
Drake or J. Cole?
J. Cole.
I'm probably I probably listen to J. Cole's music a lot more on my own.
Mhm.
But I know way more Drake catalog
Right.
thanks to nightlife.
Right. True. I don't know. I'm kind of on a toss up. Like you said, I think if I'm just riding in the car, I'm definitely going to throw on some J. Cole. But then again, of course, Drake has all the hits. So
Mhm.
you're bound to hear a Drake mix in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Right.
I think J. Cole is kind of an acquired taste.
Yeah. Storytelling.
Yeah. I mean, I like J. Cole more than I do Drake. I probably listen to Drake more just because he has more songs. And once you hear the 3 albums that I like of J. Cole, then it's like, what else?
Yeah.
His features are dope though too. So
Yes.
yeah.
And his like unreleased tape, like when you go into the deep SoundCloud, all that,
Mhm.
you know, like the lost
Yeah.
files. His lost files are fire.
Friday Night Lights. Is that-
Yep.
yeah, Friday Night Lights. Yeah. And I'm surprised that they still haven't. Q, you may know this. Why haven't they put that on like Apple Music or anything like that?
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
I don't know. Might be like some sample clearance stuff, and you never know. Because I mean, Drake had the same thing. What was it? The Dark Lane demos or something, or the care package or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get samples cleared and all that. So it ain't no telling.
Save money.
Yeah.
For what? That pocket change. That
I mean,
has to be.
and it might not even be that. It's probably certain people just don't want to clear it because it's who he is.
Oh.
So you know, it could be
Haters.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, it could be a multitude of reasons. You never know.
We got a lot to talk about on today's show. Talking about MVS. He's released. He gone. We'll talk about a lot of Chiefs moves happening. Carri Richardson reportedly signed a $20 million deal. Did y'all see that coming?
I mean, yeah.
At some point, she had to break
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, now the fastest woman in the world. We'll dive into that. Dolphins ranked number 1 in NFLPA's 2023 survey of working conditions, and the Commanders ranked last. We'll talk about where the Chiefs come in
Last.
And we'll get to our sneakers of the week in about 30 minutes. Plus, we'll dive into some Mecole Hardman. He's been in the limelight here since Super Bowl.
Since
All
that
the
catch.
tea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the Jets aren't happy with some of the things he had to say on the
Yeah.
pivot.
They'll be all right.
Haters gonna hate. Is
Haters
that what you
gonna
said
hate.
earlier?
We'll dive into that. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Now, it's also definitely exciting around Super Bowl, but then there comes the cuts. Not so fun times. Chiefs have released MVS, who caught the Super Bowl, who caught a Super Bowl touchdown. Also, Q, your thoughts on this one?
It was written on the wall. And an organization like this, I forget who we talked to, either this season or last season, but they talked about excellence is expected from you, you know, when you walk into this building. Now, we'll talk about it later. You know, the ownership doesn't always live up to that excellence. But as a player, you expect it to be excellent. And especially when you have a team like this now, on their third Super Bowl in 5 years. And he just didn't live up to that. And the writing was kind of on the wall when he got here. Imagine that career playing with Aaron Rodgers coming out. When you first get into the league, you play with Aaron Rodgers. You're a big-bodied receiver. He's not necessarily the most physical. You would hope that he was. And I won't say he didn't produce. I don't think he produced to the level of his pay. You know, your salary, you're expected to produce at some point. And Mecole's salary is what is it, like $2 million a year or something like that. It might be a little higher. But Mecole kind of produces in that window where it keeps him employed. He can do certain things that, you know, some players can't do, especially with his speed. MVS drop passes was an issue this year. And then also when you look at the weapons that Pat needs, he doesn't need a Tyreek Hill clone. He doesn't need necessarily a speedster guy. Now we're getting to the point where Travis is getting older. You need that big body possession type of receiver, somebody that you can rely on for a catch, you know, on that third down, fourth down situations. And he just didn't come through with that. And you hate to see it because he's such a good guy.
Yeah. I expected MVS to release MVS. I mean, you have to free up some money. You got to free up money because you're trying to figure out a deal for Chris Jones. You're trying to figure out a deal for L'Jarius Sneed, and MVS to me didn't live up to his $11 million contract
at all.
Down at the end of the season, yes, he did. I mean, if you're taking the larger sample size of, and I'm talking week 1 through week 17 regular season. If they ended at week 17, I could say, oh yeah, he should be gone. He should be, you know, he's not living up to it. But then when you look at the playoff run, wild card game, divisional, AFC Championship, Super Bowl, he made some great catches. Like, would they have gotten past Buffalo if he didn't make that catch coming out of halftime?
Yeah,
I can't say that they would have. And then you look at Super Bowl, he made a hell of a catch in the Super Bowl.
That he bobbled.
Yeah, but he still caught it.
Yeah, he still caught it, but he bobbled.
He still caught it. And then you look at, I mean, you look at some of the games in the regular season. You look at the Eagles game. You look at the Buffalo game, and some of those had he caught those, then you're like, oh yeah, he's our man. He's supposed to make those catches, and then he doesn't. Do you put that on Patrick? Do you put that on the hold that they said it happened, or pass interference, or do you put that on MVS? Your hand touched the ball. Y'all know as well as I do.
Touchy, you catch it.
Touchy, you catch it. So, I mean, you're only as good as your last game. I mean, you look at what happened with Sky Moore, and I always go back to Sky because he had the up and down, you know, beginning of the season. I think the Colts game is probably one of his worst. When he fumbled, the punt return, they returned it for a touchdown.
The whole team was bad.
Yeah,
that game,
but that was the domino effect.
No, it definitely was.
And then he had a couple of just bonehead plays, you know, in the regular season. And so you think about how he ended, where he the punt return, and then he caught a pass for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So people thought that he would parlay that into this year. Now injuries kind of got to him, and I think it was just the offensive play, the plays and things like that from Andy Reid, and it just from the offensive side of the ball, they just weren't good beginning of the season. Now you look at MVS, it's like, man, are you worth $11 million? If I'm Brett Veach, I'm asking myself, is MVS worth $11 million? Nah, we can probably get somebody better for $11 million.
And do you think they bring him back on at a lower price tag? I don't remember the last player we saw that happen with, but we've seen it happen.
I mean, we've seen it happen with D-Rob. We've seen it happen with.
Well, I'm saying with the same team.
Yeah, D-Rob came back for a 1 year, like $2-3 million deal. That was his last year here. And then I can't remember who else they brought back like that. They didn't do Juju like that.
Yeah, it was somebody else they did, but
I want to say Sammy. He restructured. I mean, you look at the defensive side of the ball. Frank Clark restructured. But you're a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Somebody's gonna pay you.
Somebody, but I mean, when you look at this league getting a lot younger, MVS is he ended his second contract, so he's probably in his
28.
6th year.
Yep.
6th or 7th year. I think it's 6th. But I don't know. Like, where do you go after you play with Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, the first 2 teams in your career?
And granted, while he was playing with Aaron Rodgers in MVS 29, when he was playing with Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't supposed to be the man. Like, that was always going to be Devontae Adams.
No, it was definitely always Devontae Adams, and they had a couple of different pieces. And I mean, even when you look at the Packers lineup now, they have a lot better receivers now.
Yeah.
And that's my worry for players like this. Players that kind of sit in that middle of the road. I mean, DeAnthony Thomas right before this, Patrick's run. You have a DeAnthony Thomas where you have a guy that was very dynamic in college, and he got to the NFL and it just didn't really translate. And that's what makes it so tough to be in this league more than 3 years. I think, what is that? The average player is in the league 2 to 3 years, something like that. It's really tough because the competition is always like right over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And if you aren't a dog like that, like, good luck, because you'll be looking for work. But I mean, like you said, there's other teams that could take that opportunity. But I mean, when you're on your second contract, it's going to be tough to really land a team and stick.
Yeah, you mentioned that second contract. It's tough for guys to get to that third deal. That's when you become rich.
And
like,
that's what,
you get
and
to
that's
that
what
third
I'm saying.
deal.
Yeah,
That's when you really know, like, all right, I can put money away. But I feel like, and you always you are what people are willing to pay you. Like, that's your value. Unless you're just a big name.
Unless you go get more, like Chris Jones.
Yeah. And then you think about just MVS. His first season really wasn't all that, and then this year really wasn't all that. But then people pay for knowledge and experience. You sometimes you pay for that.
So you would have the upper hand on this. Is he a locker room guy?
I like MVS as a person, but I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
But now, I can say that just from what my eyes see. Like, I saw the frustration from MVS beginning of the season, just by how, I won't say pouting, but just by how things aren't going your way. You can just see the frustration on his face. Now, when I talk to, like, Rashee Rice, a prime example, I talked to Rashee Rice, and he says, look, MVS has helped me become a pro. MVS says, anything I need, MVS, I did a 2-minute drill with him, and one of my questions was, if you could choose anybody on a team to be, like, if you're a king of the world and you had to have a guy that's on your side, who would it be? And he said MVS. And after that, I asked him, like, why you choose MVS? He was like, man, he's helped me become a pro. He's like, anything I need, any question I need, MVS is always there. So from that standpoint, when you look at how he is to a rookie, and that's helped him, and I won't say mold him, because Travis has had a hand in that, Pat's had a hand in that, Andy, all those guys. I would say he's a locker room guy. I just haven't seen it,
And that's the level of play that you come into. I mean, imagine being the guy that has to come after, like, a Jerry Rice and a John Taylor type of thing. And you look at the same thing with coming after a Travis Kelce and a Tyreek Hill. the ceiling is way too high.
Yeah.
And if you can't meet that, and we've seen a lot of players in this Chiefs organization that they hoped came close to those two.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And you can't always get lightning in a bottle that easily. And like you said, like he's a good guy. He's a good energy guy. He's a guy when you talk to him off of the field. He's a guy, I mean, not only knowledgeable, but it's just something about him that isn't that on the football field. Yeah. And again, when the ceiling is Travis Kelce, what is it, 10, 11 seasons of 1,000 yards.
8,
you know, when you look at a Tyreek Hill, the type of dynamic player he was in this offense, and the Chiefs are still kind of chasing that talent.
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs are still looking for that guy that's not necessarily small, but a guy that can that has speed and power mixed in, and is very sure-handed. And I think that's the thing I was missing in MVS is he doesn't have that power. When you look at Tyreek Hill, he catches the ball, takes a few guys to bring him down. MVS, he normally makes a catch, you know, probably wiggles a little bit, and then he's down. And you need that after the catch type of explosiveness.
Like Rashee Rice, that's what he is.
Yes, and you look to mold that type of talent, and MVS he can find his way, I think, in a slot position. I know it's going to be a lot tougher, a tougher road for him going forward, because it's just a lot of talent coming out, and especially when you look at running backs that can still catch too. You know, it's tough.
And I think, like you said, it'd be different if he had cleared the air. I mean, granted, he'd probably still be in Kansas City if he cleared the air, but there, at this point in the game, when you have the young guys like Rashee Rice coming in, like why are there still question marks at this point with you?
Exactly.
And I think that's what would make it tough for him to go somewhere else, is because then, yeah, we could get a Rashee Rice or somebody like that that's young, that he still has a lot to learn versus the question marks. And I think I would rather deal with a lot to learn than question marks.
No, definitely.
So
now, my thing is, and I know you asked Q if that would bring him back on like a 1-2 year deal. I think MVS would come back for that, but you know, like what else is out there? I mean, if because I'm just thinking about the players that they have right now, wide receivers. You got, and I'm gonna throw his name in there because he's, to me, wide receiver 1. Travis Kelce. You got Rashee Rice coming back. You've got Justin Watson. You still got Sky Moore, who was injured. You've got Richie James, who also plays punt return. You've got Mecole's name can be thrown in there, even though he's probably going to take another deal somewhere. I feel like he is. And then you still got Kadarius Toney. He's still a name that's been thrown in there. You still got Cornell Powell, who is on the practice squad. So I mean, taking Travis Kelce out of that mix, you want, and I know you kind of got to this a little bit earlier, you want to make sure that you've got a guy, and maybe Rashee Rice is it. I don't know. I mean, he's still, but you've got to have a guy that can take some of the pressure off of because he's getting older. He's 31 years old. So you've got to have a guy that can be wide receiver 1. To me, right now, Rashee Rice is wide receiver 1.
And he just got the team rookie or something like that.
Yeah. So to me, like I said, he's wide receiver 1, but you've got to have somebody else. And I don't know if that's Sky Moore. I know he battled with some injuries this year, and just things with the wide receiver group just wasn't there. And a lot of that I blame on Patrick. Like, Patrick doesn't get a lot of the blame just because of who he is and Patrick Mahomes, but some of those throws were bad. I mean, he had, if just going back on, because I go back and watch a lot of the games, and some of the throws that he had, he missed a lot of guys that were wide open. Just because he wants the home run. He'll tell you, like, hey, I want the home run play. He's had to learn and to be able to be that check down guy that doesn't always go for the home run.
These last 2 years have helped him with that.
Yeah. So I feel like they've got to get somebody else. Now, rumor has it, Justin Jefferson is going to be out there.
And
so can you go get a guy like Justin Jefferson?
But I think that's what they're clearing room for. I mean, yes, you want Chris Jones, but also you want somebody in that 11 to 13 million price range that, can run that. And you look at who is it? Gabe Davis that's available. You have Mike Evans from Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. You have Justin Jefferson. There's a couple of different people that can make a splash, and I'm all for it. Like I've been saying for about 2 or 3 years now to free Justin Jefferson. I don't.
Does he come here though?
I mean,
he could. He's a young guy.
You want to get paid though.
Yeah, and he's gonna want that money, and that's gonna be the tough thing about getting him in is he's gonna want that long-term deal. And I mean, right now you've got to take. You've got Jet McKinnon, you've got Drew Tranquil.
I mean, Jet was on his last year of his deal, so
and that's what I'm saying. You have a lot of people to re-up right now that you may or may not take. I mean, they lose Willie Gay, so that's a huge loss. So again, like trying to find these different pieces that make sense is gonna be tough. Now, is it gonna be as tough as this past year? Probably not, because who wouldn't want to come play with Patrick? But you also have the caveat of the NFLPA report from this week. So it's a tough deal because if you're Justin Jefferson, you're coming from Minnesota where the facilities are new, like virtually new.
Yeah.
And then coming here where the facilities are older than you.
Literally. Yeah.
Oh man. And I saw the comment from Darius. He said wide receiver Keon Coleman out of FSU is a realistic pick at 32. He'll easily be wide receiver 1 in the league. I think at pick 32, you got to go with best available. I mean, even if it's an offensive lineman. Yeah, you've got to go with best available. Like if it's a wide receiver that you didn't feel like was gonna fall.
I'm saying that wide receiver. Do you take a wide receiver or do you gamble your chances in the second and third round?
I mean, Brett Veach has been clutch with that. You look at Isaiah Pacheco. You look at Rashee Rice. You look at all those guys who weren't projected to come in and be the man right away, and they have. Like he's struck. If you can catch lightning in the bottle, he's done that. Like he's struck gold twice.
Would you call Rashee Rice lightning in the bottle?
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay.
I would.
I mean, he's an explosive guy. I mean, just his yards.
I haven't seen
man.
it yet.
Yeah, he's man. Some of the catches that he's made, and now that and now granted, early on this season, like the rookies that come in and play for Andy Reid, they're not supposed to be good.
No, we know that.
We know that because Andy Reid's like they had to. And they talked about it. They simplified the offense.
Yeah.
And once you did that, even asking Rashee Rice, like asked him post game, because he caught one ball from Pat that was, I think it was on the left hand side. I can't remember what game it was, but he said, "Yeah, I told Pat like, hey, got this 1-on-1. If you see it, I just throw it up. I'm gonna go get it." And Pat threw it up, and he went to go get it. So that's the trust that you have, and you have it in a rookie like that, man. Yeah, I like it.
I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet, but that's because again the ceiling is way too high. so big shoes to fill.
Final hot take: who do we go get at wide receiver?
I
realistically, like money wise,
I like the Gabe Evans, the Mike Evans or the Gabe Davis pickup. Especially if you're looking at a big splash. I think you need that veteran guy. But then, yes, you also go draft a rookie. You draft a guy so that way, between whoever the rookie is you get in the draft and then Rashee Rice, if those two can play together over the next, 3 to 5 years, I think you start building a solid foundation at the position.
At first, I was like, I like the T. Higgins move. Now he's been franchise tagged by Cincinnati, so you're gonna have to give up something to get him. Mike Evans wouldn't be bad, but it's gonna be the better deal. Whoever gives you the better deal and the quality of talent that you can get. Yes, whoever can get you a better deal, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be whoever Pat wants.
And I like Gabe Davis again because he's a deep threat.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
a big body guy that can catch the ball over the middle, whether it's a deep pass or in traffic. Yeah,
you got to get somebody to make the defense work. Make the opposing defense,
and that's what I'm saying. A big body that can move.
They got to cover. They be like, oh well, shoot, we got Mike Evans out here. We got Rashee Rice on the other side. We also got Travis. Who we gonna take? Oh, well, they handed the ball off to Isaiah Pacheco. Now, it's like
triple threat.
It's a game with chess. Yeah, you do.
Guess we'll see. Carri Richardson reportedly signs $20 million contract with Nike. Big bag.
Not the little one.
Right. I know we had mentioned this earlier. I don't think that I was surprised. I think she was bound to obviously have a breakthrough coming through her adversity with her career and everything in the beginning. I think you can only hold off and put her in the doghouse for so long. And so I'm happy to see that it's a big brand like Nike too that's able to take a chance with her.
And what was her adversity? Was it
just marijuana? When she tested positive for marijuana.
Right
but
ahead
she had
of competition.
Yeah, but she had a lot of things going on too. I mean, her mom passed.
She still smokes weed now. So.
Yeah. Allegedly.
I say
allegedly.
You say allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't really know, but she possibly, I don't know, but yeah, that was the thing, and she came out and talked about just the the mental health side of things, and her mom passing, and that was a lot for her. And she had a lot of success, like really quick.
Exactly.
And sometimes people just don't know how to juggle all that, especially if you don't have a lot. And we don't know who she has in her corner, but like sometimes if you don't have the right people in your corner and they coming up just as fast as you, and they've never seen the success, sometimes that can be a recipe for disaster.
No, definitely. You talked about Rashee Rice having to lean on MVS. And I mean, he had to lean on the guy that he essentially replaced at the end of the day. And learning how to be a pro is not just regulated to football and basketball. Being a track star is a worldwide phenomenon. And you get the world put on your shoulders in your early 20s after losing a parent. I'm not, and not to say you misspoke, but I'm not calling that adversity in your career.
I would say I don't think that the weed is the adversity.
No, definitely.
I think it's the position that she was in. And is it fair to say it was her critics? Because
that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it was because, like you said, allegedly she still smokes weed now. So there's people that can pick and choose when to make that move in your career. People have power when they can run with that. People who choose to drug test you at certain points in your career. And I think that would be the adversity, the haters that we talk about, the naysayers, whatever. I think that's the adversity versus the smoking weed. I don't think that is a dilemma. I think how you cope, whatever you think that you need to do in that position, those decisions, quite frankly, it's legal in some states. So if you choose to participate, I don't think that that's a wrong decision or that's the adversity. I think it was the people around her, the people that decided to come down on you in that time frame in your life.
And the thing too, on top of that, it was just, it was the rule that she broke. She tested positive, she's an Olympic athlete. Like they tell you cannot smoke marijuana. You cannot test positive for marijuana, PEDs, none of that. And she tested positive for it. So, that's kind of on her. Like she made the bad decision. And then whatever happens after that is what happens after that. Right.
And that just runs into a conversation about that rule being changed because marijuana is not a performance enhancing drug.
Right.
But yeah, I think the world being put on her shoulders, it took her a while to figure out how to adjust to that. And especially you can attest to this, you grow up with a cell phone in your hand. So it's really tough to face the world when you aren't trained to literally face the world. And now Nike sees that potential in her. And that's a round of applause to Nike on that end of the certain athletes that they empower. And Sha'Carri is one of those figures in sports, a Black woman in sports, and she can be a very, I won't say powerful figure, but she can be a very influential figure, especially when you look at Nike needing to sell merchandise, and to be able to make her that, she's, in my opinion, she's only going to get better.
Thanks.
And we'll be talking about her with the likes of the Flojos and all the different sprinters that you know, the female sprinters across the Olympic circuit. So
Thanks. I'm excited. I'm excited to see colorways and stuff that she comes with and promotes, because she's always, like, I feel like that's kind of slept on too. She's always brought a certain swag to women's track, you know, and even watching her, I mean, I that's all of them, but I like seeing like the different stuff that she does and like the headbands that she was doing and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what she brings to Nike too.
And that's going to be different, because I mean, not Nike just did a release with Meg Thee Stallion with a certain apparel release. So you look at the tracksuits that she could possibly, you know, come out with and help design. I mean, it could really be something that moves the needle. So
I'm very hyped. Dolphins ranked #1 in NFLPA's 2023 survey of working conditions. Commanders ranked last, and then the Chiefs ranked 31st. So we got a lot to unpack with this one. Steve, we'll start with you.
When I saw the grade, like, because they give you 5 different grades, the ones that most people look at are the head coach, the owner, facilities, and I think family was the other. For ownership, well, let's start with head coach too. So head coach, they got an A. Of course, that's Andy Reid. For facilities, I believe they got a D. For
facilities, I thought that was an F.
Well, maybe it was an F.
They were last in facilities.
Yeah, so maybe it's F. And then for ownership, they also received an F. Clark Hunt received an F. And then for family, like how families are treated, they received a D. So to me, and the report that came out from Sports Illustrated was kind of weird, because they said like Chiefs went too far in the playoffs, so their locker room wasn't updated.
That's an excuse.
Huge. No, not even that. But that report was completely wrong.
Yeah.
Because the locker room was updated last season in the Arrowhead facility. Like, it's completely redone. Like, you go in their locker room, you got the LED lights, you got the jewelry.
But you're talking about game day, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about game day. But practice facility,
that's what the discussion was, that where they spend the most time.
Yeah, and practice facility, I mean, yeah, they could use some updates to it. Now, they said that the report was like, they had these stools, which they did. Now they have chairs with backs. Now they have chairs with backs. But I feel like,
so you want a Super Bowl, and that bought you a chair with backs.
I mean, keep you hungry, keep you humble. You can't joke. You keep you humble.
Traditional.
Yeah.
The basics.
All right, go win another Super Bowl. All right, now we get you some LED lights and screens.
But what precedent are you setting after Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? Because you have the talent of these two guys that are pretty much carrying the ship. And I mean, we're not going to say that other players don't carry, assist in that, but you have 2 of the greatest equalizers right now in your coach and your quarterback. So they're happy. What about the rest of the team? And so what does that say moving forward? And so good luck getting another star.
Nah, I think money and winning kind of supersedes what your facilities look like.
I
think you if am I getting paid? Look, we paying y'all to come in here for a couple hours, get your work in, and you go back home. Go back to your multi-million-dollar your home. Go back to your nice condo down at Power, and like we ain't paying you to come chill. We paying you to put this work in so we can get the Super Bowl. You get paid. We continue to win, and then there it is. We ain't paying you to come here and just chill.
You say that now while the winning is sweet.
The
winning wasn't sweet for a very long time,
but you look past some things though when you winning.
And that's I think that's my point, because I don't think you lose a player like Tyreek Hill without that brand new shiny new thing, looking him in his face in Miami. And you have these facilities, you have all these extra different things. You know what he does off of the field. You know his business, all of that. But when you look at facilities and pay, like you said, of course I'm going to leave this dynasty to go to get more money and be in an updated facility. I mean, there's really no reason that the Missouri Tigers practice facility looks better than the Chiefs.
That's it. I don't know. I've covered basketball, but I've never covered football down in Columbia. Have you seen that facility?
I saw the side-by-side picture this week. and I tell you, for a team that's a dynasty,
yeah,
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guarantee it's gonna be fixed this year.
You guarantee that?
Yeah, I think they'll be walking into even the press room. We
So
got new chairs.
They're gonna do that, but they're gonna do that in what, 4 months?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You need to. It don't take you that long. I mean, the locker room ain't nothing but open space with a bunch of wood in it. Like,
so why they ain't did it in 40 years?
I don't know. I ain't the owner. I don't know.
Because they ain't touched that thing since the 90s.
Jesus.
Derek Thomas was still alive when they built that practice facility.
Yeah, they put a new basketball goal in this year.
Oh,
that's a highlight.
For winning a Super Bowl. All right.
I think you're right, though, Steve. I think obviously winning supersedes it, and we're not there to hang out and be comfortable and everything. But on the other end, yeah.
What you mean?
If I'm looking across the league and see that the team with the worst record, at least they got nice chairs, now I'm mad because I'm like, they don't even win and they got better stuff.
Have you seen the Hunt's suite at the stadium?
It's old too, but look. Here's the thing too, though. Like, you got a lot of these new players on that team. Not a lot of these guys have been with different organizations. So you only know what you know.
But you visit those organizations.
The visiting locker rooms are trash. Like,
you also talk to guys.
True. Now that's a different thing. But you only know what you know.
All right.
Like, you don't really know how bad it is until you go to another team or you come from another team and come like, dang, y'all looking like this.
But we also see why Chiefs have a problem when what was it? Emmanuel Sanders came to visit, and then all of a sudden overnight he's signing in Denver.
They ain't won a Super Bowl yet though. Now Andy could text you and show you these rings, and it's like, hey, you gonna get down or you gonna lay down?
And some people gonna end up laying down because if I'm gonna lay down on this bed of money over here versus laying on a prison cot over here, yeah, I'm gonna go lay on this bed of money over here. Sorry.
I'm also interested on the family category.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may just be I know it ain't like post, like I'll just see the family post game.
Right.
So I don't know,
and that's the thing, day to day. Like, why are you not taking care of your players to at least a bare minimum level? Like, family, that my bare minimum on family, my grade needs to be a B.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And if it's not a B,
sure. And I don't know what goes into that though. Like, and sometimes it's questionable, like, because how many of these players are disgruntled? You know what I'm saying? Like, when did they do this questionnaire? Was it after?
Probably a lot.
Like, when did they do this questionnaire? Because I want to know, like, if it was week 8, y'all losing. So or Christmas. Did they send this out Christmas Day? Because Christmas Day they lost to the Raiders. So that would make me upset too.
No, I'm not even putting it on that. Nope.
I'm just wondering, when do they send this out?
Nah, ain't no recency bias in that.
Because you got to give a grade. You got to grade this on a curve.
No.
Right.
You trying to shoot bail? It ain't working. I'm not buying.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, we don't get to see much of the family interaction, but that's interesting. I'd like to know. Now on the other side, Chiefs did unveil renderings for $800 million renovation of Arrowhead Stadium.
It's okay if y'all say trash. It is okay. It's perfectly fine.
My thing about this is that you get these updates and renderings and all that stuff. $800 million, that's what you get? you could put another few million with that, and you could start building you a new one.
You ain't doing nothing but filling up the trash can now.
Put a couple more million with that, you good.
Yeah. So you can say trash. It's fine. But I'm gonna say it's very underwhelming.
Why?
You just said it, 800 million, and this is what you put in front of me. So one, to be able to say as a team representative, to be able to say that area is not worth the development. One, to me, that's not an indictment on the area.
Cheap land out there too. Well, depending on how you look at it. Right now, it seems like it is.
If you're a team that has been in that location, they've been there, what, 40-something years?
Yeah.
How old is Arrowhead? Is 40-something, almost 50 years? The team's been 50 years, but they end up moving there, correct?
Yeah.
But if you've been there that long and you're a multi-billion dollar organization, why haven't you been able to figure out how to develop the area? You have two professional sports teams and neither can figure out how to develop that area.
No. And I want people to understand this. Like, the Chiefs don't own the stadium. Like,
no,
we own it. Jackson County.
Yes. But the onus of you running a business, you should be able to figure out how to make that area lucrative for the city of Kansas City.
I said I don't even live in Jackson County anymore.
Exactly. And so, but even still, like, to be a city, because you've lived in Jackson County a lot longer than you have not.
Yeah,
exactly. Sure. And the Chiefs do a really bad job of entertainment, for the lack of words. The in-game stadium,
they've gotten better.
They probably have gotten better with winning because they've been forced to.
Last 3-4 years, they've gotten a lot better.
But the end game is bad. You don't have a DJ at training camp, and I mean that's part of my bias. But you don't have a DJ at training camp, and so players have to play from their phone. Like, there's a lot of different things that go into being a organization, and they have a tough time with that, but that's because, I mean, it's a traditional organization. They try to do everything that they think Lamar Hunt would have wanted, instead of pushing into the future. Like, this is the city of Kansas City investing in you, and you're just sitting here really getting rich off of it, versus like giving back to that community and giving back to your players. Like, there needs to be some like sort of evaluation within the organization of bringing someone in that could like make it cool, and they don't do a good job of making it cool around the sport.
And I like what friend of the show, Sean Edwards, says. He said the big improvements are VIP, big money spenders. If you're a normal fan, this plan doesn't change much. Basically, we finance them to have more opportunities to sell VIP stuff. Win-win for them, lose for regular people.
No, exactly. And that's what makes it so underwhelming, because if you're up against a Dallas, like, and we know Jerry Jones is a hell of a salesman when it comes to that. But the Dallas stadium is really big. There's an entertainment district around it. There's a lot that you could do around it. When you look at LA, what they've done with Staples, and they built the downtown around that, but then also what they're doing with SoFi. So there's a lot of different teams that they utilize the space around the stadium, but then they also like make it cool to actually be in the stadium. And the Chiefs are just struggling with that, and they need a total overhaul in operations.
Facts. Now we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss some women's basketball. Keep it locked in. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com, exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasoning to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to message us, talk about it. Hashtag talk about it. We'll talk about whatever you want. Now, the Jet, Mecole Hardman has been in the light. He's had a lot of hot takes. Some Jets believe Mecole Hardman leaked game plans to Chiefs and the Eagles. Let's start off with hearing from Mecole Hardman himself, courtesy of our friends of the Pivot.
I was so checked out. Like, it's over. I already talked to Veach and Pat. Like, hey, bro, come get me, bro. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, what are we talking about? Like, man, come get me.
Oh, man, Mecole. In front of the show, Mecole Hardman. Shout out to Mecole. Yeah, sometimes I think people read into, like, you just having, this is more of a locker room, barbershop type conversation, and people can read more into it. Like, I'm not one to say he talked to Patrick or he talked to Veach, because that would be tampering. And I think that's what the Jets are getting to. I think the Jets are more upset the fact that he put out there, like, hey, I know what winning looks like, and y'all didn't want to listen to me. Mm-hmm. I know what winning look like, and it ain't having your helmets on the ground. It ain't how this locker room is looking. Like, I know what winning looks like, and the fact that y'all brought me in, y'all should lean on me. Like, I've been to the 3 Super Bowls. So yeah, I think they're more upset with the fact of he kind of just told it like it was.
I mean, but also if a guy is talking like that and he's not a 1,000-yard receiver, I mean, it's kind of hard to listen to that when you're a young guy like a Sauce Gardner. That's you know, you have a pretty high ceiling in front of you. But yeah, I think Mecole's right. Like he's seen how to win from the very small, meticulous things, and the Jets don't know how to do that as an organization. And they could probably learn, but I mean, I think he's right.
Do y'all think they're going to get anywhere with pursuing him at tampering?
He did say it. I mean, but the thing about it is now, and I Stephen A. Smith said it best. It's like, all right, if this happens to be false, like, and the Jets pursue this thing, how can he go into anybody else's locker room? Mm-hmm. You know, and they're trying to say that, oh, Mecole leaked out information. Mecole came out and said he didn't leak out any information. So now he has a lawsuit because the Jets put that out there. So that's, you know,
I don't think they pursue it unless they have like hard evidence.
Yeah.
Interesting. Governor commutes prison sentence for ex-Chiefs assistant or Britt Reed.
Some people are upset about it, but I really feel like it's, you know,
You're crazy.
Money talks.
You're crazy.
It's been happening. It's been happening since the beginning of the time. If you got the money, then it is what it is. Sometimes you can't hate the player. You hate the game. Like,
nah, this has nothing to do with money.
Why not?
And more to do with have you looked at everybody this governor has pardoned?
Oh, I have. Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Somebody's pockets are getting laced. Allegedly.
Everybody he's pardoned has everyone who's sentenced, he's commuted. Most of them have committed violence against Black people.
Okay.
And then on the flip side, you know who he didn't commute their sentence?
Ooh.
There was a guy, I forget his name, but there was a case just last year where his innocence was proven, and the governor decided not to commute his sentence because he wasn't sure, and that was a Black man. So, you know, somebody's innocent and you don't commute their sentence, but then somebody that pleaded guilty and that harmed a young Black child, and you commute their sentence, he's talking out loud. I mean, he's telling you out loud exactly what he's doing, and it has nothing to do with money. So
somebody's pockets got laced.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll dive into our Hate It or Love It segment. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com, exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com. Purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it, message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. Let's get into our sneakers of the week.
Hate it. It's that time for Love It or Hate It. Hate it. Talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off our sneakers of the week, we have the Air Jordan 5 Olives.
Yeah.
No.
No? I like these. Kind of fire.
I can dig them. I like the colorway.
It's kind of fire. I like them.
The Nike Air Foamposite 1 eggplants.
Oh, mad. I'm mad.
I like
didn't get these. I'm mad. Now they $250 or $260 on regular. Gotta pay a whopping extra $100 to get these on secondary market, man. I'm gonna do it. but I'm upset.
At least you admit to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it, but I'm upset. Like, I really want these. Like, I didn't get them the first go round. I think they came out when 2008, 2009, maybe. But yeah, I got to get him.
The Nike Book 1 Mirage V2.
Come on, Booker.
Nah.
He's Devin Booker's own. I ain't
Those look
feeling
like
them.
church shoes.
Like kid shoes.
Yeah.
Church shoes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they look like orthopedic shoes, but no.
Art bats. Nike Air Footscape Women White Cows.
Yeah, pass on those. Yeah.
I think my mom would like those, maybe.
This was a 1-for-4 outing.
Yeah, this was not a good week. Not gonna lie. Hated.
No buckets this week.
Nebraska football players have dunk contests at halftime of their basketball game. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
I liked it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Boardroom shows the NBA's highest paid mascots of 2023. According to the Sports Business Journal, Utah Jazz mascot Rocky tops highest.
Still
Hated
highest. Yeah, I like it. $625K.
I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely be a mascot.
Hey, let's sign you up.
Nah, look, easily.
I think my personality, I think I would do well. Honestly, let's do
We
it.
showed it we showed the picture last time. I wonder if we still got that.
I have experience. I have experience. I'll throw my resume around. We'll see. Jimmy Butler throws watch party with suspended Miami Heat teammates. Hate it or love it.
Love it.
I love it. You're gonna be suspended today. Come watch the game with me. For real.
And they got the whole food and everything. Is that sushi catered?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, I'm definitely sliding.
Man.
I might even slide to the suspended party after I get done playing. Like what? College baseball player ejected for bat flip after hitting a game-tying grand slam. Hate it or love it.
Change the rules in the game.
Let's see it.
We're a long ways from that. Uh-oh. High and deep to right. See ya.
Yeah, they ejected him right after he crossed home plate. It don't matter. Shoot, I brought my team in the lead.
Yeah.
And I mean that influenced nobody. Like the throw was nowhere near anybody. Like it did nothing to anybody.
It's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah, but it's more disrespectful to throw a pitch to your team to throw a pitch like that to hit a home run.
Right.
Like strike him out. That's you looking at the reason why baseball is dying.
Yeah. What you say? Period.
Boring. Period. Boring. Football meets ice in Germany for American Ice Football League.
I love it.
Love it.
I love it.
That's crazy. Imagine getting tackled on ice.
No. I don't even want to imagine it.
And everything hurts worse when you're cold. Let's see it.
Über den Lauf. Es geht über. Da ist er. Es geht über Ailton. Kleines, dickes Ailton mit dem Touchdown für den Ding werden. Am heutigen Abend, wir haben schon einen Krimi vorhin erlebt beim knappen 20:19 des Westens nach Vegas. Aber Stefes, sehr, sehr schöne Lauftechnik da. Das soll er sich sparen. Das ist arrogant.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like who was high and said, let's put arena football and ice skating together? Like, because that's high.
Yeah.
You got to be high.
Out of there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Because Carri wasn't even smoking nothing that way. I promise you that.
We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Remember, you can interact with us. Use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. If you want to catch a rewind of today's show, follow us, like us on social media at the W Show KC, or you can listen to us on Mondays, 100.1 FM. Until next week, we are out of here. Peace.
The views and opinions expressed of the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the...